What is going on, my followers? It is your boy TKD123 aka Kevin Diaz, and if you are living under a rock, you must have not been well aware, and most of you probably are well aware, that the Paris Games Week was debuted on Monday. They showed a bunch of announcements, a bunch of new games, and we are going to break down the top announcements that were at the main conference. And make sure to also check out the breakdown I did on all the new games, all the announcements of the pre-show on the Paris Games Week as well. That was uploaded on Monday, so make sure to check it out as well. Along with that, we also had this week's Destiny's Eyes Up Guardian show with Christian, and he broke down some of the new details that they unveiled with the new Destiny 2 expansion coming in December. So make sure to check out those videos as well on the channel. But let's get into the main announcements that were shown at the media showcase. Now obviously this is not all the announcements, but this is just a nice big chunk, nice big highlights of what was shown at the media showcase. And to start off with, they had this amazing trailer, the Ghost of Tsushima. It was a absolutely incredible trailer. It was gritty, it was real, it was raw. It was a game that is going to be set in Japan in the 1200s era and all that good stuff and everything. And then we got the absolute banger at the end of the trailer that this was made by Sucker Punch. Yes, this is the unveiling of Sucker Punch's next new IP. There were rumors going around that it was going to be a Western style game. There was rumors going around that it was going to be another Infamous game, but all those were completely blown out the water. This was completely caught left guard. No one even, presumed this was going to be a thing. There was no leaks, whatever, as far as I can tell. And I'm pretty aware of Sucker Punch leaks, but beside the point, this was an amazing way to start the conference off. It looks absolutely amazing. It looks great. Who knows when this will be ready to go? This looks to me maybe fall 2018. There's a chance, but I think maybe it might be pushed to 2019. Who knows? But whenever it comes, it's gonna be absolutely great because it's Sucker Punch. While there was no mention of the Vita, they did mention a ton of VR games. They did it in the pre-show, and they continue on to the main conference as well. They showed this game here called Blood and Truth, and it looks to me like a London Bond style of game here, and it's made by the same team that made London Heist. If you remember that game on PSVR, I believe it was on the demo disc for PSVR, and it was this kind of thing where you are in a stationary position and you're shooting people and you're taking cover and everything, and it's from the same developers as them. And it looks like this game is going to be a very just real game. And that's kind of like one of the biggest things that people are asking for with the PSVR, is to have not so much these tech demos that we've been getting lately, but have an actual fully fleshed out game here. And this is definitely going and telling that they are definitely listening to that type of recommendation, and they're really going to deliver that here with Blood and Truth. Beyond that, they showed off that Far Cry 5 will show off a ton of different multiplayer things, a lot of co-op things, and they had this overview of the entire map, and it looks like a bunch of people were on the actual area that they were in, so it definitely looks like it's going to be kind of in a similar vein as GTA Online in that type of sense. And I am completely on board for this direction of Far Cry 5. It looks great in my opinion. Along with that, they debuted some new Monster Hunter World gameplay and everything, and they announced that there will be a beta happening on December 9th, so definitely I'm hyped for that, and I'll be definitely participating in that beta because I'm extremely intrigued by this game overall, and I cannot wait to see how it all comes together when it comes out in early 2018. Along with that, they also announced that the copies of the game on PS4 and PlayStation consoles will be getting Aloy as a playable character in the game. Now, this doesn't seem to be canon to the actual Monster Hunter story or Monster Hunter World universe as a whole. It's more of like a nice just extra content to be like, hey man, since you're on PlayStation and you love Aloy, you can be her in Monster Hunter World. And that does make sense because obviously if you look at Horizon, she was battling these insanely big monsters and everything, and of course it would definitely make sense to have her in Monster Hunter World. Speaking of Horizon, they showed off another trailer here for the Frozen Wilds, which comes out on November 7th. So definitely please check out that DLC if you guys have not already. And if you have not played Horizon this year, what are you doing? Play Horizon, play the Frozen Wilds. It's a great game. It's going to be an amazing expansion, so definitely check out all that good stuff. Along with that, we have a COD World War II trailer that was debuted at the show and everything, and they showed off a little bit more visuals and everything just pertaining to multiplayer and the single player and all that good stuff. And also along with that, they even debuted the first DLC pack, which is called The Resistance. It will be coming out January 30th on PS4, and this game is coming out on Friday, which is hard to believe that we are getting a new Call of Duty this week, and we are getting it here, and they decided to debut the initial DLC that's coming out in January, so go check out all that good stuff as well. Also at the show, they debuted this game here called Onrush. Is coming out summer of 2018, and it looks to be a hyper futuristic racer. So think a little bit like if Ridge Racer were meshed with Wipeout, and it's in the future, and you're not floating but you're still on wheels. It looks a little bit like that. It looks very interesting to me personally. I was really big in racing games back in the day, not so much anymore, but I am definitely somewhat interested in this game. There are also a lot of aspects that are reminiscent of Rocket League as well, and overall it got pretty good reception on this game, so definitely will will be keeping my eye out on Onrush. Next up, following that, they debuted some Battlefront 2 footage. Again, another trailer. It is, I believe, the launch trailer for the game as well. And overall, you know, we've been talking about it for weeks now and, you know, months at this point. Battlefront 2 looks amazing. The beta was great, and I cannot wait to play the story of Battlefront 2. That is the main, you know, type of attraction that I'm definitely going to be, you know, the most hyped for, the most excited for as well. So definitely did enjoy a little bit of Battlefront 2. No new info was shown at the show, but hey man, the game is coming out November 17th, so definitely I am extremely hyped for that because it's right around the corner. After that, they began to show off some of the game that was E3 2017 PlayStation conference. That was the Spider-Man game coming out from Sony Games, and they showed a little bit of Miles Morales in there, a little bit of Fisk, a little bit of the Spidey sense, and we also have the Shocker being debuted as well. And we still didn't get an official date for this whole thing, which is another reason why I was a little bit lukewarm on this whole conference overall. But we still have the 2018 date, you know, that is set in stone for Spider-Man. After that, they showed off another insanely, very suspenseful, very great trailer from Detroit Become Human. And this trailer, you know, honestly, I was, you know, a little bit lukewarm on the game. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it, but after seeing this trailer right here, this makes me want to get this game so much more than I did before. This game, you know, just looks so suspenseful and looks so deep in everything, and I definitely am excited for this game. But of course, here, par for the course that we've gotten for this entire conference, we didn't get an official date for this game. All we have is spring 2018, so of course, you know, we're gonna be, you know, just like getting this game somewhere between January and I'd say maybe July of 2018, and I really hope we get it soon because this game has been shaping up to look amazing. Right after that, we got a short trailer of God of War, a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, like nothing crazy was shown, but you know, just a little bit more action that was shown from God of War, and it was definitely a good trailer, I'd say. But again, here comes the issue again with the date thing. We did not get an official date on this at all, really. You know, we have, you know, again, early 2018, but we still don't have a solid date here, and that's really unfortunate here. And you know, it just for me speaking, like that was probably the biggest letdown on this whole entire thing. Like, we saw all these games before, we knew they were coming, we know they're being aware, you know what I'm saying. Like, the only really new game that we saw here that was really groundbreaking, you know, on terms of that, was Ghost of Tsushima from Sucker Punch. And we didn't really get, you know, anything that was extremely new here, and I was hoping that, hey man, like if we don't get anything, you know, that new here, at least we'll get some dates for these games that we've been hearing about. But we still didn't get any dates for it, so I'm a little concerned on that point, but I'm sure we'll get some of these dates, something, you know, like Lockdown at PSX I'm hoping for. Following that, we got a new trailer for Shadow of the Colossus as well, and that one's coming out on February 6th of 2018. So definitely there we have, you know, a nice solid date there. And I was also hearing rumors, and really I think this is pretty much confirmed at this point, that the game will only cost $40. It won't be a full launch price release game. It will be marked down at $40. So definitely a nice thing right there, because, you know, this is not a, you know, new game. It is a remaster of an old game, but I am liking how they are kind of making sure that this game is appropriately priced for the content. And then lastly here, we have the groundbreaking trailer here that was The Last of Us 2. Now, it wasn't really officially kind of presented as Last of Us 2. It was kind of done in the same way as the first trailer, where they didn't show Naughty Dog's logo or anything like that until the end of the trailer, or even tell that it was Last of Us 2. They were just, you know, showing, you know, this crazy intense scenario that I'm not even going to spoil because I want you guys to watch the trailer. But there are a little bit rumors here that, you know, the woman that was being hung, that, you know, if you watch the trailer you will understand what I'm saying here, that is actually Ellie's mother. And Naughty Dog went on Twitter and they released the bios and the names of each character that was in the trailer, and when it got to hers, they blacked out her letters of her name. It's a 4-letter name, and they blacked out the letters of her name. And a lot of people are presuming here, like especially on IGN, there's a full article that they posted where they broke down all the theories that they had with this trailer, and, you know, the main one here was that, you know, the woman being hung and a knife being held up to her stomach was, of course, Ellie's mother. That's what a lot of people are presuming here, and then it definitely does make sense, you know. But that pretty much rounds up all of the top things that were shown at the Media Showcase at Paris Games Week for PlayStation. If you want to join, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share down below, and make sure to follow us on Twitter. We are constantly putting up updates, constantly doing a lot of crazy things here on the channel, and also keeping everyone up to date on Twitter as well, so make sure to follow us on Twitter. And also, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to stick around for the channel. We're doing a lot of crazy things going into PSX, everything, stuff like that, so make sure to keep it locked here on PlaystationFollower. Thank you all for watching, and as always, keep on following.